Day 213 of hitchhiking from Southampton to South Africa. Another early start today and another big day of hitchhiking ahead of us. We first went to the petrol station across the road for some breakfast and then started hitchhiking towards Lubango. Like most days in Angola, we really didn't have to wait long before someone pulled over. But unfortunately for us, 20 minutes and multiple breakdowns later, we were still in the city. So despite the fact that these guys were continuing on the same road as us, we decided to get out and try our luck with another car. Surprisingly, our plan actually worked. After only a few minutes of waiting, we got picked up by someone else, and before we knew it, we overtook our previous ride. We made it to Uwambo, and here we got our shortest ride of the entire trip. Again, a bit of a language barrier, but yeah, this guy literally drove us less than 100 meters before he had to turn off. Luckily, our next ride was a lot better, and we spent the next hour and a half in the back of this pickup truck. I still miss my old head, by the way. The driver was working on a farm somewhere in the absolute middle of nowhere, and despite this being the main road between two big cities, there were barely any cars on the road. We waited here for more than an hour, in which less than a handful of cars passed us, but eventually one stopped and offered to take us to the next town. As we were getting out of the car, a truck drove past, who offered to take us 300 kilometers up the road to Lubango. We had to sit in the back of the truck, but it was honestly quite nice. We had plenty of space, some cardboard to sit on, and we even had some shade. The only unfortunate thing was that we didn't have any food and pretty much no water. But luckily, this is Africa. And basically what happens here is that if you stop your truck somewhere in a small village, loads of people will come up to your car and they'll sell you some food for next to nothing. So we did manage to buy some eggs, potatoes and bananas. We were in the truck all by ourselves for most of it, but then, about halfway through the journey, we pulled over in this random village and started loading the truck. Or well, not really we. I kinda just sat on the floor trying to stay out of everyone's way. Anyways, next thing I know, it's 2 hours later and the truck is finally fully loaded. We're definitely not alone anymore, and what followed were a couple more hours in the truck while stopping in pretty much every village we passed along the way to load and unload goods. It was quite cold now as well, and we didn't get to Lubango till midnight. As soon as we got out of the truck, we were greeted by a police officer who offered to help us find a hotel. We got in a police car, and after a while of driving around, we eventually found one, checked in, and called it a night.